Today's webinar is sponsored by Authenticom Group of Companies and is titled Automotive Data Management, The More Things Change. Today's webinar presenters are Kevin McMillan, VP of Enterprise Accounts at Authenticom, and Brad Corner, VP of Sales at Authenticom. Please welcome Kevin McMillan and Brad Corner.
My goal is to help lead this change that we're going to discuss today for auto dealers and making certain that our results are to help dealers sell, service, and retain customers more efficiently.
The real deal about big data is that it's a part of our everyday life, and it's a coined term that people use in our everyday life. As new products enter the industry and legacy products and solutions hold such a massive number of dealers, we together must realize that every single day there's a transaction, an event, or a touch point with customers that can be traced, tracked, and used in a way that drives dealers to the goal of the session today and what we both believe, Brad, which is to sell and service more cars and retain more customers. Big data is impactful because from dealers to vendors and OEMs, as well as even DMS providers, the size and the amount of data that's capable of being consumed is absolutely mind-blowing. And for example, when we think about big data and selling and servicing cars, it's still about kicking tires and creating a relationship with a potential buyer. It's also about retaining that good feeling that all dealers want to create with their vehicle shoppers. However, the kicking of the tires happens after the relationship has started to be created now. And much of this happens on Facebook, on television, perhaps the internet or radio, Twitter, and even LinkedIn. If we look at our everyday life with respect to big data, we can break it down into three territories or categories. One, in my opinion, is existing legacy providers. We can give them names or acronyms and so forth, but these are the big dogs that have been around for a really long time. And we can also talk about new products and solutions by entrepreneurial vendors. Some of the things that we see at some of these conventions, some of the things we see happening on Twitter or on Facebook, and some of the exciting things that we see people that have been in the business for a very long time going out to start their own new companies. I'll go into examples of each of these and how it all points back to, most importantly, that third part, which is our connections with our buyers and the data connected to that. And legacy providers really haven't shown the ability to really embrace new technology and win that race to create change in automotive. So what do we see happening in this category? We see control and restrictions imposed on dealers. And what's important about this category of big data participation is the perception or the giving up of what feels like greed and false promises that there's an implementation of legacy companies that are providing the industry some kind of gift or a requirement of compliance. And it's really all hidden behind a pretend certification that really has no merit. When we get excited about the new products and solutions that are out there. And I have keen and unique delight and opportunity to work with so many new startups and some very secret new products that are coming into our industry in the position that I hold at Authenticom. Many of these new products and solutions are coming out in automotive that are fresh and are completely groundbreaking. Yet many are so simple in ways to use technology and data to help dealers sell and service more cars. For the most part, all of them are new and upcoming products. And they're partnerships between typically dealership owners and dealership millennials. Well, I'm a techie, so I like to compare to technology. We're not going to individually design new vehicles or create cloud computing or grouping of cars and so forth, at least not for the most part. Maybe some of us will. But we're going to work together to create new ways to attract customers and new ways to monitor the sales cycle and new ways to do a showroom log, for example, which might even include a smartphone as opposed to a 8.5 by 14 green and white ledger, which is the way that I started out as a teenager at Villa Ford in California. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to invent new ways to interact with a customer like SpinCar does. And we're going to invent new ways to keep customers like My Customer Data does. We have one choice to make when it comes to data and automotive. Go horizontal or go home. And going vertical means that we choose one data provider and consume all the products connected to just that one provider. It could be a DMS, it could be a CRM, it could be an OEM. But going vertical means that we're being controlled by what data is made available and what data available to us is made available to others, which basically dictates the success and our cost. That to me doesn't sound very entrepreneurial. And in fact, I was very impressed also in a recent article by Cliff Banks, who wrote in the Banks report about certification programs, DMS providers, the impact on the industry, and where we sit today. I certainly recommend that everybody take a look at that report from the Banks.
All right. Did you guys have anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
First of all, thanks to Digital Dealer and to you, Sean, for setting this up and all the attendees that are there. Brad, it was great getting this presentation set together with you. And once again, thank you to the industry for allowing us the opportunity.